Okay. Manik said he was wondering what's going on with the sessions. So, okay, I think we can start now. We have enough people. So, how's everyone doing? How's everything going? I just see some couple smiles and cameras off and Microsoft.
Everything good.
Good, good, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where are you guys from? For example, Julian, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Colombia.
Colombia. Oh,
Uh-huh.
nice. So, español.
Español.
Yeah, yeah,
Sí.
yeah. We can make Spanish more like tailored sessions later.
That would be great.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the idea. So I can have one that is more like just for everyone, since I don't speak any other languages.
Hmm.
But we can definitely have one in Spanish for sure.
Good.
So yeah, cool. So where are you studying now, or what's your situation?
So right now I'm working.
Oh, okay.
I'm working in a helmet factory right here in Colombia,
Yep, yep,
but as a designer,
yeah.
helmet designer.
Oh, I see.
But
Okay, cool.
uh-huh. But the
Yeah.
idea is to study.
To study car design, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay, nice. Have you been practicing sketches or working on your portfolio or something like that?
Yeah, yeah, I have, but I do have some friends that have studied in Pforzheim,
Yeah.
and right now one of them is studying in UMIA,
Yeah, yeah.
so I get feedback from them as well.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining, man. So, yeah,
Thank you for this space.
yeah. So right now what we're doing is a little bit more like a freestyle, I would say. But the reason of these sessions is just to, let's say, make a more strong community on car design. Um, so basically, in these sessions, we can talk about anything. And if you guys share sketches with me, you can just ask me questions or what's your concern about the sketches. I can do overlays, I can do critiques, I can ask any questions in regards to design, surfacing, rendering, shading, anything. So we can just like yeah, you can just play by ear, and probably I got some sketches already that you guys shared, so we can play with those. And yeah, the humble reason or the most honest reason I'm doing this because at some point I was in your shoes on some of you guys. I came from Mexico, and back then, obviously, there was not too much resources of car design, so I was barely like teaching. I was barely like kind of like self-taught. I was trying to sketch and try to catch up and watching internet references, and I didn't know much about it. So, and I was just like thinking about, oh, what if there's someone or something that could help me to, to start? Because when you go to school, you're supposed to be like prepared, right? You're supposed to you're supposed to know what the portfolio is and what are the things that you should pursue, and you're supposed to have a kind of like an idea what car design is, right? So, and it's kind of tough for someone that haven't studied anything like that, and this knowledge is too sophisticated and is too small. Like there's not much access. So that's why I think that my main goal here is just to create a very, very strong community so we can help each other out here and we can answer questions and we can also share our experiences. Like, oh, I went to this school, I went to that studio, that other studio. I can share a little bit of my experience. And in the future, I think I hope to get this community super strong so I can also invite some of my peers and some other designers in. And as I said, we can create a community where we can all grow. So yeah, if you guys have any comments, thoughts, or anything you want to share, just please go ahead. Like there's no compromise. It's just like a talk, and later on I can just do some refinement or critique on the sketches, and I can do overlays and all that. So
Yeah, hi, I'm Mateo from
Oh, Mateo,
Argentina.
yeah, I remember you. Yeah, how's it going?
Some of you already know me.
Yeah,
Um,
you've been active on the chat.
I I have a doubt
Yeah.
with a sketch that I sent yesterday
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that I'm missing something. I think
Mm.
something is wrong. I
Yeah.
don't know how to put right the lights and shadows on
Mm-hmm.
the sketch. I know the perspective is wrong,
Yeah.
but I think I am missing something else.
Okay.
Uh, I will introduce me. I'm 17 years old.
Okay. Nice.
I'm from Argentina and I'm self-taught too
Nice.
because here in Argentina we don't have too much car design influence. We're
Mm-hmm.
more for engineering.
Yeah.
Um, but I did some courses like the Migliori Design course
Mm-hmm.
of automotive design.
Nice.
I researched a lot of videos and pages and books on the internet,
Yeah.
but it was all of myself. I started 1 year
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's it. That's why my sketches.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing something that
Yeah.
I can improve.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean I think that's the way to go for now. You need to have that like hunger, you need to want to do it. You have to want to do it. Um and that's exactly why I create this community. So people who doesn't know or they're not familiar with the field, like we can get the ball rolling. And then in the future, you might you might use this knowledge to go to a school or to teach other people that were in your shoes at some point. So and we can just get stronger and stronger.
There it is my sketch and my render.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I don't
Let
know
me.
if you can correct it if you want to do a layer
Yep.
in the sketch and
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
the basic lights
Yes.
and
Yeah.
shadows
Yeah.
of the sketch.
For sure. Yeah.
It will be great.
Okay. Let me just yeah, I'm gonna download the sketches. Just give me a second.
Uh, I would like to introduce myself before starting.
Okay, sounds good. Bora. That's the
Yes,
correct pronunciation? Okay, cool.
yes,
All
Bora.
right, let's go,
uh,
Bora.
yes,
Nice.
I'm from. Yes, thanks. I'm from Turkey.
Turkey. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yes. We have told in the community. Maybe
Yes.
you remember.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um, yeah, yes. I will be in Italy
Oh,
on
nice.
April 30th. Yes, for studying masters in transportation design.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
So, where in Italy are you gonna study?
uh, yes, I'm gonna study
No, but what
in
school? Oh,
IAAD.
oh, ID. Oh, nice, nice. All right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I just wanted to introduce myself before
yeah,
starting
yeah.
and
No, no, for sure.
thank you for help
Yeah, no,
to
no
us.
worries. Yeah, yeah, no worries. No, I think I mean
Um,
I'm enjoying it. It's fine. I mean that's what I'm saying. Like we can do this more like a freestyle, and you guys, let's say we can create a space where we can all share and we can all like, and if in anything I can help, I will help. So yeah,
yeah, yes, thanks.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, no worries. So
Yeah, I'll introduce
Uh,
myself as well. I
yeah, yeah,
am
yeah, for
Aris.
sure.
I've not
All
been
right.
active in the community because
Yeah,
I stuck with social media and like
because
communicating through
because
internet, but
because you want to
I'll
be in the
try to be more active.
shadows.
Yeah,
You
I
want to be in the
basically work in the
shadows.
shadows until I find like
Nice.
few people to talk to.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
I'll
good.
try to
Sounds
be
good. Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah,
active,
yeah,
post some
yeah,
sketches
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah. So there's more people joining. All right. So I got some sketches here. Got organized. All of them. Cool. So funny enough, I wanted to go to IAD at some point back in the days because there was a scholarship program, I think. I don't know if it's still active, but that was the reason I was considering go to Italy. And I even take like 4-month Italian course. So I was committed. But then I ended up going to Art Center because I mean I'm from Mexico, so Art Center is a little closer. And the plan was a little bit more clearer, I guess. So
Very nice.
yeah.
If I may introduce myself, my
Yeah,
name
yeah,
is
for sure.
Arturo
Yeah, go ahead.
from
Arturo.
Mexico.
Mexico, there you
Yes.
go. There you go.
Yeah,
Now we're
and
talking.
actually I just
Asking.
graduated from IAD from IAD.
Oh, nice, cool.
So I just graduated like 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah. Okay, nice. No, nice meeting you, man.
yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah. No, and if you guys know anybody who's what's that? Anyone else? Okay. If you guys know anyone who been interested on learning car design or they really like to belong to the community, just please feel free to invite them, right? So I'll be sharing the link, and if you guys need the link, I'll share again, and you guys can invite anyone else. So, and on my end, I'm gonna try to invite some people. Cool. Okay. Since Matu share their sketches and kind of like ask for help first, I'm gonna just try to do something there. Just give me a second.
2 kilometers.
Okay. Okay. Who's this? No? I hear somebody. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So, cool. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Couple yes. All right. Cool. Okay, Matu, you're up. So what's going on in this sketch? Just walk us through a little bit. Just few thoughts.
Okay. First,
Go with the sketch first.
it was I saw a few months ago a Maserati,
Yes.
and I thought, well, it's a really good car. I like it too much.
Yes.
And my first thought was draw the car, not a sketch, not an idea.
Yeah.
Just draw the car.
Yeah.
Know the essentials lines of the design.
Yeah.
But then when I continue to sketch the car,
Yeah.
I thought, why I can't? What will happen if I put my style in the car, in the design?
I see.
So it's you guys maybe will know which car it is. It's the MC20.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of my time, my
Yeah.
ideas. But I know I did it wrong, the perspective, and that make a little bad the rendering, obviously. But it only started with draw the car, and then it was put some ideas.
Okay. So yeah, I think in these cases, if you simplify the whole car, is a best way to understand the whole shape, right? So I'm just trying to do a little bit of understanding here, right? Okay. So first thing in your sketches, I would say focus on thick to thin, because sketches, they should have a focal point, right? And I'm starting with the sketch because I know if you had a good sketch, you can just do the rendering very easy, right? You can put a little bit of value and that's it, you're done. So, and thick to thin is something that is going to help. Let's say your sketch right now looks a little bit vectorized. So it's all the same value, right? And you need to somehow, let's say if I do this quick like this, no, here. I do this quick like this. And
I wanted to ask you,
yeah.
the configuration of your pen,
Yeah.
of your pencil in
pencil.
Photoshop,
Okay.
to do the sketch
Yeah.
from paper to Photoshop,
Oh,
because
okay.
I think that I'm missing something there too.
But on the pencil sketches.
Yes.
Yeah. Pencil sketches, I use laser print bond paper because it's soft, and I use Prismacolor pencil, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm
And
not
in
getting
Photoshop?
I'm not getting commission, okay? But I'm just using this Prismacolor pencil. So, and Photoshop, I use this, you know, the Kyle's. Wait, let me just get the color. Yeah, I'm using this guy, the Kyle's drawing box, because it's kind of like sketchy, you know, like it has some texture, right? And make sure the pen pressure is nice, so you can kind of like vanish the ends, you know. Okay, there's more people coming. But yeah, this is basically the one I use, right? And then if you go, I don't know, more in detail, like let's say you can do several passes like that, like smooth, right? And you can get a nice kind of like sketchy effect, right? That's what I do. Okay. So let me just give you a few tips here. I wanted to give you something that, okay, because if I just go and sketch the whole thing, it's basically you just watching how I do things. And I think it's better if I tell you the steps, right? And then you follow those steps, and then next week you come up with a stronger sketch, and maybe I keep doing overlays and you learn more, right? Instead of me just trying to show off what I do, right? So I would rather just to give you some tips, right? How to simplify your sketches. And that's going to help you way better, right? If you think about it, a body side, there's more people coming. A body side is a section of a cylinder, right? And that's it. There's nothing else, right? And for example, if I shade this guy, right? As I said, if you want to get nice shading here, you need to have several passes like that, right? The way I started is, let's say you start from the middle like this. Okay, let me go bigger. So I start from the middle and I go to one side, right? And then I kind of like vanish it. And then I start from the middle again, and then you go to the other side.
Okay.
And then vanish it. And then if you need to pump the middle a little bit, you go like this, right? And then you get that shading, right? And it's the same on pencil sketches. On pencil sketches, I do the same technique, right? I go from one side, you see? I go from one side, from the middle, one side left, and from the middle right. That's how I do it. And then if you need to pump the core, you just draw more lines in here, right? And if you look from far away, the shading is nice. You know, it's like grainy because of the brush, and it's consistent, right? And it's something that I really want to encourage everyone who has like questions about shading. Just try to be consistent on your shading, right? Don't make it like lines like that. Like don't do the cross type of thing, because that doesn't show form. That tells you, that shows sort of like a texture, right? It shows a pattern, but you need to show form, how the surface bends, right? So that's why I suggest you guys do this, right? So let's say this is the type of shading that you need to achieve, right? Now let's try to apply these to the car, okay? Let me do a nicer version here. Okay. Oops, no. I'm gonna do it with this guy. There you go. So let me just tell you why I'm going to the cylinder on the side, right? So we got a car is composed by primitive shapes, right? It can be cylinders, cones, spheres, prismas, and all that, right? And you need to be able to identify one of those things, right? So body sides are usually a section of a cylinder, right? All right. Right. You have a section of a cylinder, for example, here. You have another sheet of metal, like that, right? You probably have like a prisma type of thing, right? So you just need to identify surface by surface, right? So can you guys turn the mics off? Because I hear a lot of noise. I mean, if you guys wanna say something, it's fine. But if you guys not gonna talk and there's a lot of noise, yeah. Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, you need to be able to simplify your cars, right? Let's say this is what I'm doing right now. Let's say it's the whole cylinder shape, right? Like this, right? So basically, all of this, right, is a cylindrical semi-cone type of thing, right? There you go. Oops. Now, here, right? So this is basically what I did. I just grab your body side. And if you simplify shapes like that, you're gonna be able to extract more of the design, and you're gonna be able to put your ideas out there better, right? Rather than if you complicate things, right? Complicate things.
Okay.
So, and then this is basically, I'm telling you basically the steps that you need to follow. Like, for example, next time you do a sketch, the body side, don't try to stylize. Next time, just do a simple cylinder section, right? And try to do and try to put it on your sketch, right? So I don't know if you guys are familiar. I mean, at least Matu. I don't know if you're familiar with how the shading works on a cylinder.
A little bit.
A little bit. So, okay, I'm just gonna go quick, but in a nutshell, right? You get a core value, right? So that's why I'm going left and right, right? The same way I did the shading before. Left and right. You pump the core a little bit. Jesus, who's singing that? Come on, guys. You can sing, but I'd rather to hear some questions. Okay, so I'm not gonna make it too complicated for you, but let's say you're watching your cylinder from top view, right? This is the top view of your cylinder, right? And if you, okay, let's put it with colors so we know what we're talking about. Okay, here's the top view. Here's the top view, right? This is the part of your cylinder that you're looking right now, right? Then if your light, oops, your light is coming from here, right? And it's hitting there. So your light is coming from here in a top view and it's hitting here, right? This is the direction of your light, right? So let's say where is tangent, so in the red dots, right? Where the light hits and is tangent to the surface, you're gonna have a core. That's how it works, right? So just keep it just simple as that, right? The light hits the cylinder. Let's say the light has a direction like this, right? And where is tangent, right? When the light is tangent, you have a core. Core, which is this guy, right? So that's exactly what I want you to do in the sketch, right? But let's imagine that your light is coming from the top, right?
Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
When you finish explaining the shading,
Yeah.
Could you please explain how we placed the other elements, for example, A pillar, B pillar, C
Yeah.
pillar? But after finishing this, I'm sorry for
No, don't worry.
interrupt.
No. You're not interrupting. I mean, it's fine. As I said, it's more like a talk, right? And
Yes.
you guys have any thoughts and want to jump in and say, "Hey, Omar, could you please go back to that?" Or you know what, Omar, I'm getting too bored. Like, just say it, right? Just kidding. So, but yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, just go ahead. Just go ahead and chat. So, so yeah, right now let's say the light, right, is at the top, right? This is the sun, right? And the sun is hitting this direction, right? To the car in general, like that, right? So what's going to happen is that the light is gonna hit, and we learn that it's tangent, right? So it's gonna be tangent here, right? And that's why you're gonna have a core in here because it's tangent. And that's going to give you the shape that you need for the cylinder, and you can read how the cylinder goes like that, right? And you have a body side. So this is the things that I want you to do next time you do sketch, right? And probably I think this is more useful for you because we can go step by step, and then you can know why things are the way they are, you know? So, okay, now let's go to the body side. And I'm gonna try to shade, and you can do this in paper too, right? So you just grab this, right? So let's say, and now you know why I'm doing a core in here, right? So, and the same way I explained, you go from the center, and then you go left and right, and you kind of like vanish. It's easier to do this on paper, to be honest, because the pen pressure, the sensitive is better. But that's what I'm saying, guys. You need to be a little bit patient with your shading, right? And try to make straight lines, right? Because do shading is like sketching. It's like you need to have like a nice lines, right? You need to go like that, right? And then you pump it up at the middle a little bit, right? But you see, little by little, you see that I'm getting the shading I want, right? Oops. Like that, right? Then if we go a little lighter, right? Let's say we're gonna get rid of this guy. This is the shading, right? And then what do we learn? Well, the shading goes all the way here because it's a section. You know what? Let me bring that guy back. Okay. All right. So the shading goes here. Why? Because this guy is another section of a cylinder, right? But it's a little bit more like a cone, right? So that's why your shading, instead of going fully straight, your shade is gonna cone out. So what I mean is it's gonna go like that, right? It's roughly. So then I'm gonna do the shading with that guy too, right? Like this. There you go. Just cone out a little bit, right? This is the type of sensitivity that you need to get. Like how much are you gonna cone out the shapes, right? The angle. But it's basically that. And if you guys keep sketches simple, even that's not perfect, but if you guys get this simple, you're gonna be able to do better things. Like you're gonna understand that shapes, and you're gonna be able to put your designs easy. So let me just.
I just want to ask, how should we shade the light catchers? Because generally light catchers has different shapes. It's not like kind of cylinders or cones. Maybe I don't know. I'm really struggling with shading light catchers or different shapes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you mean, let's say, if I have a volume here, right? And then this guy, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I
The
was
thing
talking
is,
about.
yeah, the thing is, like, if you're sketching on paper, black and white, this all depends what color of you're sketching, right? What's the color? What's the paper or pen or background that you're using, right? So in white background, sketching with black pencil, the light catcher, basically you just leave it in blank. That's how you represent those. So you shouldn't, what you should be concerned when you're sketching on white paper with black color is where to put the shade. And the light catchers are just the question of where to not put shade. So, for example, if I
Yes.
want, yeah, it should be just like
it makes
that.
sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
it makes sense.
yeah.
Thanks.
For example, if I want to bend this cylinder over here, right? Let's say I have a light catcher here, right? Here. So what I would do here is maybe draw another volume, right? Here, right? And this volume is going to be sort of like the rocker panel, which is like the internal structure that a car has, chassis. So that's why you have sort of like a skirt down there. You have a bump. So what I would do is just, let's say in paper, I would just do this, right? Because also the direction of your shading, it dictates your surface, right? So that's why I suggest you go directional too on the shading, right?
Yes.
But you see, if I want to highlight that, what I'm gonna do is just to increase the shade, right? Increase the shade and just leave the white blank, some areas. So let's say, there you go. You see how you from far away you can sort of like read, right? And still I haven't been done with this, but if you do this, you can read that sort of a volume, right? So, and this happens the same in Photoshop, right? In Photoshop, you just leave blank in there, right? And it all depends on the quality of your shading too, right? So let's say I got this, right? I can turn it even. There you go, right?
When we
You see, you got the light catcher
yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yes. We need to shade. We need to start shading when the light catcher starts to be at same level with body side, right? We need to start shading when it comes to same level of on y-axis.
What do you mean? Like, we should. Okay, can you explain that again, please?
Yeah. I'm just trying to say we need to shading light catcher. Just it comes to same level with wheel arc or body side, right? Maybe I can't explain myself quite well.
Yeah.
But Yes. But I got the idea.
No,
Yes, thanks.
no, I understand. I mean, sometimes even I have troubles to explain because design is something very visual, and sometimes
Yes.
it's kind of hard to explain with words. I mean, that's basically our job. Like, how are we gonna explain without talking? And you explain just with your visual. So I get what you're saying. Um, Probably your question is related with where to place this guy, right?
Yeah, yes,
Right?
yes.
Right? Okay. So yeah, I mean, where to place this guy? Well, this is there's no um there's no law that tells you where exactly you're gonna place this light catcher, right? Because the light catcher is just I would say it's an automotive styling just to divide some parts of the car, right? So this kind of like helps to reduce the mass of the side view, right? For instance, let's say I'm gonna do a rough here. Well, let's say
Did
this, what's that?
did you say did you say for reducing the mass of the body side?
Yeah, the mass of the body side. Yeah.
Yes, I get it.
So because sometimes when you have concepts, okay, there's more people. When you have concepts, for example, they can say, you know what, man, this is just too massive, right? And then plus the window and the
Yes.
wheels, and it's like, man, how can we make this car look sleek, right? So then that's where the light catcher and volumes comes, right? Because normally I did it here, right? But then some other people can say, you know what, I want to do it. I want to change the body size section instead of being like that. Oops. Let me just, it's here. Okay. Instead of being like that, the body size section can be like this and like this, right?
Yes.
So let's say now your cylinder, you have your cylinder here now. You have the core, you have it here, right? And this is just an example how people exaggerate body size, and you can use that on your designs. That's why I encourage you guys to do very simple cylinders and primitive shapes, because I know after that you can just manipulate them, right? That's the way to go. So that's why it's like don't complicate things, and believe me, you will complicate things when you move forward with your designs. So the best thing is just to start very simple, right? So, well, let's say you have a core in here, right? And then let's say I'm gonna have a more like a light. And I'm doing it right now like as if I sketching on paper, so you can practice too. If you don't have a tablet or if you just have pen and paper. So I'll do some Photoshop later too. So yeah, there you go. But you see, there's no law. There's no law to do this, but basically you use those tricks to your advantage, right?
Yes.
So
It may. I'm sorry.
no, what's that?
It may be a weird question, but do you have any exercise for creating different kinds of light catchers? You know, I always sketch same shapes for a light catcher, and
Oh.
it's a little bit boring, and I just wanted if you have any method for creating different shapes.
Yeah, like different type of executions and things like that.
Yes.
Usually, light catchers are pretty simple, right? I would say don't complicate something that it should be simple. Although what could happen is maybe you design something that, okay, maybe the light catcher is like that, you have a curve, right? And then you go to Photoshop and maybe you have sort of like oops, you probably have, come on. Okay, there you go. Maybe you have something like this, which is a hole in the surface. Just like that, right? Maybe that could be one way. So your light catcher looks a little bit different because now you have like an air intake or something like that.
Yes.
Like that. Yeah. There you go. You have an air intake, right? And now your design will tell us this, right? But your shape will read like that, and then goes like this, and then maybe goes positive here. So section lines are important too, right? Yeah. You see how it's a hole, and then the lines are gonna change the surface, right? So it's positive, positive, and then negative, 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 right? And then you have a hole. And then this can be a totally new body side than the other one. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some ways to have different type of light catchers and things, but I would say you can try an exercise, just try to change it. Like instead of being a straight line, maybe you do this, right? Or maybe you can just do like that. Like you can start putting like pieces in here and bits, but I would say keep it fairly simple, because at the end of the day, the car, you see it as a whole. You don't see it as a just one detail, you know? And you should be able to judge the whole car as an entire thing, right? And you make sure you have your main character. And what I mean with this is the big picture, right? What do you see in the car? And then maybe light catchers and air intakes and all that are complementary shapes. So does that answer the question, or does that make sense?
Oh, yes. It makes sense. Thanks for your
Okay.
explanation.
Yeah. No, I can elaborate later on more and more on the things. So I think there's a lot of topics that we can touch in here.
Yes.
So
Is it disturbing to use surface lines? You know, sometimes I hear don't use surface lines. How can I say?
surface.
It destroy surface lines.
Like shading?
No. It shows the direction of the surface.
Yeah.
As you did in the red lines.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean,
should we use or we
oh,
shouldn't
I
use?
see. Okay, so you want to have a balance, right? What you can do is just have one section line, and that's it. But you have one section in the middle that is powerful, because we already know that this shape, we already know that the shape of the intake, it's negative. Kind of the volume tells you, right? So if I had this sketch, I would probably just do something like this, where the most powerful section is, right? You don't want to do here when the surface is almost getting flat like that, right? No, you wanna get that section strong, where the strongest visual is, right? And all of this is kind of like, okay, the imagination filled it up, your brain filled it up, because you already have shading. So just grab one powerful section line. But
section line, yes.
Yeah, but I think having section lines helps you and helps the audience to understand the shapes. So okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. All right, people is joining an hour after.
I have a sort of a question and request. Like, could you at some point bring out one of your own sketches and break down like the shapes you chose to use?
Yeah.
Like simplify your sketch, because I feel like I'm looking
Yeah.
at your Instagram right now.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to notice where you use like this simpler forms, but it would be interesting to hear from you, like how you complicate them later on.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, I'll do it. So yeah, to elaborate on that, having simple shapes at the beginning is very helpful, because things with time are gonna be complicated, because you're putting your automotive sort of like feeling or automotive features, and things are gonna get complicated anyway. So I think you should start as simple as possible, man. As simple as possible. Like the same way I'm doing a body side here, it can be very complicated later. So, but just try to keep it super simple, and that's gonna help. So, okay, Matu, let me just finish it up, and I'm gonna give you some steps, some things that you can do later. Still there, right? You're still there, Matu?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, no worries. All right. So, yeah, I'm just gonna finish this. Let's say this is going to be your next step, right? When you do sketches. Plus the things that you listen, the things that I was explaining, right? Well, you see how it's very simple just to have a sort of like a bent sheet of metal, right? Like this. And then you have a basic shading coming from the cylinder, right?
Yeah.
Right? And you see if I turn off your sketch, you see that you already have like a nice body side there, right? And what you need to do is just sort of like a replicate probably this line, right? So let's say you're gonna, because it's a perspective, so you need to kind of like replicate like that, right? And another thing is don't get too complicated with perspectives, right? Don't do too complicated perspectives, because when you get like a fisheye type of perspectives, I mean, those are cool, but they get too tricky if you don't uh, if you don't know how to manage basic perspective. It's gonna get too complicated, so unnecessarily complicated. Okay, let me rotate this thing, and make sure you rotate your sketch all the time. I mean, if you're doing it on Photoshop, so you can kind of tell like where the mistakes are, right? You can see mistakes if you rotate, right? So okay, what I'm doing right now, you see that your body was probably a little bit too much the other side. That's why the perspective looks a little off. So probably you don't need this, right? Right. You see it looks a little bit more relaxed, right? You can exaggerate the volumes later on, but try to get the basics first, the foundations, right? And then let's say if I simplify it with a section here, you can have another section here, right? Just try to make very, very simple shapes, right? That's going to help you right out of the bat. There you go. You got your wheels, right? I'm not gonna spend too much time on wheels, right? I can explain later if you guys want, but wheels, let's just keep it like that, right? But it's same thing, right? Here, I'm gonna put another exercise, right? Which is gonna help you to do your sketches. And first, focus on the geometries, right? The geometries I already made, right? So I have sort of like a prisma here, right? Right. If you don't understand any shape or something is hard to tell, just square that off, right? Or make a primitive shape out of it, right? If you don't know how the hood works, just make a surface like that, right? Right? And then if you start shading that surface with the same logic, maybe you're gonna have a the same way you're shading your primitive shapes, your cone, is the same way you're gonna shade your hood too, right? Just to get the feeling that this thing is round, right? So I can go later more in detail, but let's say I'm gonna keep it super simple, right? So you start to do this exercise, right? Main shapes, core, and you start banishing the core from the center, left and right. There you go, just like that, right? Same here. You have a surface that is like a prisma. You sort of put it like a core, left and right. From the center, right? And spend a little bit of time on your shading, right? Try to make it consistent. Your lines should be like close to each other, right? So you don't see, the more, I would say, the more love you put in your shading, the better the result, right?
Sorry, Omar.
Yeah.
How do you know when is too much shading? Because what we were talking earlier is that you want to have a focus point. So
yeah,
when is too much shading?
Yeah. I think, okay, let me bring this guy, right? So, probably it's not the best example of focal point. Let me, but yeah, I understand. Like you need to have a nice focal point, right? And around the sketch, you should be able to have just a little bit of shading, right? And where is the focal point, the punch, you're gonna drop all the hardcore shading and type of thing, right? Let me just have an example here. Where is it? Let's have this guy. Okay, probably this guy. Yeah, this guy can help. Okay, this guy is good. There you go. So when you do sketching, when you do a design, try to come up with a plan, right? That you're gonna have a focal point somewhere, right? Do you see how much of a harsh lines I'm putting right here, right? And the shading here and the shading here. And if you compare the lines that I'm putting here, it's almost like nothing, right? If you compare those two, right? If I was going to do, oops, if I was going to do this, right? Let's say I grab one piece from the focal point and I'm gonna do this, right? And I grab one piece from the focal point. There you go. Do you see these two guys? There's a different type of intensity, right? You see that here is you see a lot of almost like black shading here, right? If I grab this color from here and I put it here, you see it's just too much, right? So I don't have this type of intensity here. So even with the shading too, right? If I, let's say, if here, okay. Even with the shading, if I grab this guy, right? This, right? Then I make it bigger, right? You see like these two type of shadings, like this guy, right? This shading and this shading, right? They're like different from each other, right? So this is the type of shading that you put in your focal point. Focal point, right? And this is the type of shading that you put away from the focal point. Away from the focal point. This, right? And the only thing that you're gonna do is when you're sketching close to the focal point, you're gonna increase the amount of, let's say, pen pressure or pencil pressure. And away from the focal point, you still need to do shading, you still need to do all the shapes, but it's lighter. That's it. And that's how you manage focal point, right? For example, in this little guy over here, I'm not gonna do like hardcore shading like that, like that. I mean, there's no law. It's basically an artistic perspective, right? But personally, I'm not gonna shade like that, right? It might look cool still, right? But you're not gonna achieve that focal point effect, right? So that's why here I still got all the details, but it's like just light, right? If I want to put if I want to put more details here, I probably will do this. lighter, and lighter, things like that, right? I want to put some details on the mirror. It'll be like lighter like that. You barely see it, you know, like the square or whatever, or I put thicknesses. I put like details, but will be lighter. And if I want to
Okay.
put details where the focal point is, well, I'm gonna do this, right? Because it's the focal point, right?
Okay.
I'm probably gonna do this strong because I know this is the focal point. But here, just like that, I can hear my echo. So like that, yeah, something like this, right? So this is the
And-
difference.
And there is just the pencil pressure that you're using there, or you change the opacity
No,
or something like
pen
that.
pressure, pen pressure. That's why make sure your pen pressure is in the right. Just make sure you have a pen pressure. Also, it depends on what you're using, like Cintiq. I'm using Cintiq, Intuos, Wacom. Like it depends what kind of piece of software or technology you're using. So, but if you're doing that in pen and pencil, easy. Just don't go too hard.
Okay.
So, view windows, brush settings here. Okay, this is how I got this is how my brushes look, right? My settings, just like that. I don't use like fancy brushes. Basically, it's the default brushes, but I try to make sure that you see how the ends are like vanishing, right? And make sure you have that, and that's it.
There is any way to share the settings of that brush to the group of WhatsApp?
Like this guy?
Yes.
Okay. I'll
I
share it
don't know
right
if you
now.
can
Live.
export
Just
that
like this.
configuration.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was gonna share an image and put it there. Does the image work if I share it? You just need to
I
go to...
don't know, really. I think you can export that brush.
But that brush is default.
Default? I don't
Default.
have it.
Really? I mean, if you go to your okay, here, dry media brushes, and you got the Kyle's drawing box.
Yeah, I don't have it.
You don't have it?
No.
Interesting. Okay, maybe it's a certain type of Photoshop, I guess.
It may be. Yeah, I'm sorry. It should be default.
You found it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It depends on the Photoshop, maybe, but yeah. I'll make sure. I'm gonna try to export it, and I can put it in the chat later. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, questions so far about the things that I mentioned?
No.
About the focal points, sketching, and all that? All good?
Everything good.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So, yeah. So basically that's it. And that's how you're gonna get like nicer like sketches, you know? You're gonna have sketches that you can like have a really, really nice focal point where it should be. Because as a designer, you should tell people where to look at first, right? You're gonna design the map so they can see your sketches, right? So you don't want them to figure out what to look at. No, you tell them where to look at first. And the way you do this, focal point, right? That's how we look at things naturally, right? You look at the brightest spot, the shinier spot, the more busy spot. Like that's how we're designed to. So even if you want to go hardcore on the details, just grab a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, right? You gotta go white the spot like that, and so it shines. So anyways, okay, so Matu, yeah, just practice something like this, right? When you break up the form, right?
Perfect.
That's it. I would say next time you do a sketch, just try to study the cylinders, right? And try to break up the form. And just do this type of exercise in your sketches, right? Because on top of this, later you can try any shape, right? Let's say, okay. Let's say next time you want to try something. Okay, let me try to draw what you have here, right? A pillar, right? This guy, try to make it a little bit thicker, right?
Thicker. Okay.
Thicker. It's a little bit thicker, right? And okay, try to make like a nice positive lines like that, right? There you go, right? And this line is very important because you see how your window is sort of like dropping. It looks like it's melting, right? When you have a nice belt line, it's gonna help you to hold the whole surface, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it spells like that. Belt line, right? So this guy, right? This guy, right? So this guy is gonna hold your whole body side, and it's gonna be aligned with your window. So
it splits the greenhouse to do body side, right?
yes,
Belt
yes.
line.
Yeah,
Mhm.
belt line. Yeah. So yeah, just keep that in mind, Matu. That's why I'm telling you, do a simple cylindrical shape on your body sides. Do this. Do the light catcher if you want, and then from here you're gonna draw your windows, right?
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's I would say that's step one. And if you begin to do that in all your sketches, you're gonna be good. You're gonna do great things. So okay, let's say I turn this off. Let's say we're going with your sketch, right? You want to have a light that it goes like a something like that, right? So this is the thing. Since we have the surface already, meeting already. Okay. Since we have the surface already, we can start playing around with the details, right? So let's say you have a light like that, right? And you just need to think about, right? Probably what's the shape that you want to have there, right? So what I'm thinking is, okay, maybe the shape is going to be like that, right? So I can probably start doing some shading here a little bit, right? Just a little bit. For now, try to use this directional shading, right? And it's gonna help you, right? Well, let's say this is the lighting I want, right? And then you have another piece of lamp in here, right? There you go. But having the first shapes identify is easier to represent more things later on, right? So, and you can start splitting the volumes because everything boils down to that. You need to begin to split the volumes and start chopping pieces and cutting off pieces, right? If you want to make a air intake here somehow, right? Like this, for example, well, you need to grab this volume, right? This shading, and you need to probably like move it like that, right? So the direction changes, right? So, but that's why I'm gonna insist every time, you guys should start super simple, right? And then you break down the form, right? You see, now we have another volume, one more volume in the equation, right? So, and that's how it basically works. So it's been an hour and 10 minutes already. Okay. Cool. So questions, Matu? All good? Matu.
Sorry, I was with the
Okay.
mic turned off. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
All
okay.
good?
I will sketch
Okay.
again.
Yes.
I will sketch it simpler,
Yeah.
more simply.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Then if you can you share the setting of your pen, because
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
have it. I searched,
Oops.
but I don't have it.
Okay, for sure. No, yeah, I'll give that to you for sure. Okay.
Thanks.
But I think that the topic of you is the belt line and simple geometries, right?
Perfect.
So, but yeah, all of these, as I said, don't go too complicated. I mean, if you're starting just to do car sketching, go very simple, right? Just imagine that you're gonna grab primitive shapes, right? Geometries, and you're just gonna cut them off and paste it on your car, right? Just think that way, right? Even if you want to go crazy and say, you know what, in the hood, I'm gonna have a concave shape like that, which it's not, I'm not saying it's pretty, but you can even do something like this, right? Like a semi-cylinder, like that. Probably need to erase this.
If you wanted to add Y fillet, we hear this term a lot in alias.
Yeah.
How should we shade Y fillet or different transitions? Maybe if you don't mind, could you please show? Let's imagine we have a Y fillet on the hood on this image.
Yeah. If we have what? Y fillet?
Y fillet, yes. The tip of the fillet fades out towards the end of the hood.
Oh.
Maybe
Like, let me see. We're talking about this, right?
it fades out at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah, it fades out. Yeah. So,
can I explain myself? I don't know.
yeah. So let's say you're asking how to fade this out all the way to the back like that, or you mean blending? How do you blend this thing with the volume like that?
Yes.
Yeah, is it that?
Yes, I was trying to say that. Yes.
Oh, the blending. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It calls in alias
Yeah.
as a white field. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. So, yeah, it's basically the same. Like, imagine that this guy, right? If we want to do a simple volume, imagine that this is also a cylinder, right?
Cylinder. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how it works. So let me take this guy, for example. All right, so cool. So we're gonna have okay, so we're gonna have two surfaces, right? One
Yes.
and two, which is a cylinder. Like that, right? And we probably have a blend like that. Right? We're gonna do the same, right? Let's say we're gonna go to shading, right? Let me just make it a little bit cleaner. I don't want to spend time on doing it perfect, because this is another thing, another suggestion I would do for everyone who wants to do more sketching. Try to do the sketches like quick and dirty, try to make mistakes fast, because and that way you can learn faster, right? If you're gonna try to polish the sketch and spend hours and hours and hours just in a single line, you're gonna spend all your time and on a sketch that is probably wrong, or on a sketch that is probably like part of the process, right? And if you do it quick, you begin to see mistakes faster and say, okay, next, and you do quicker, okay, next. It's like in any sports, right? You don't want to focus on the perfect kick if you're a boxer, right? You just do several kicks and say, okay, it's not like that, not like that, not like that, and you keep going. So it's the same. The
Yes.
same here. It's like just try to understand. Okay, no, next. Try to understand. No, next. So that's the key. Just learn fast and iterate fast. So here we got we're gonna do the same. If the light is coming, let's say our light is coming from, okay, I'm gonna do it here. Light is coming from here, right? Light is coming in that direction. So we're gonna have a core in here for sure. Right. And you need to spend a decent amount of time on wait, what? No. Decent amount of time on shading, right? Because the better you're shading, the better your results, right? So you do it like that, right? Like this, right? And now we have a surface that goes like that, right? Why am I having a little bit of white in here? Because that's the backlight, right? This is the light that is coming from behind. Have you seen guys cars park in the beach, and you see that if the man people is joining is always okay. Have you seen a car in the beach and you see all the lighting coming from the back and you see like the glow around the edge of the car? So that's the kind of like the backlight that the car is getting hit. So, and that's why when you do cylinders, and for example, I'm doing a cylinder here, that's why I'm leaving a little bit of piece of white. So because that's the contour that is coming from the back. So if you guys keep this contour and you guys keep that kind of like a little bit of light when the surface is bending, you are going to make your designs round by default, right? By inertia, they're going to be round. So just try to do that. Every time you do a design, cars all over the place, they're round, right? Most of the times, right? Unless you're talking about Cybertruck, I guess. But naturally, cars are round because aerodynamics, right? So so just keep that in mind. And everywhere that your car is wrapping around, just leave a little bit of white. Or at least dark. At least light. So all right, so then the edge, you probably won't see it, right? You won't see this edge. Wow, I know what I did. Select inverse. Okay. Nope. Jesus, what's going on here? Okay. Equipo. All right. Cool. So the edge, you are not going to see it. That's why I'm erasing it, right? The way you're gonna see your edge is going to be with shading. It goes with the same logic with the light catcher, right? You simply are not gonna touch it, but by shading it, it's gonna be represented. So
yes.
So you got one surface here, and you got one other surface here. Okay. So I'm gonna do shading again, right?
We should leave it blank, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I got the idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gonna be blank, right? And let's say the amount of shading that you put here is gonna dictate how tight that corner is gonna be, right? So let's say if I do this, just like that. Oops, that's too harsh. just like that, it kind of tells me that the corner is very soft, right? But if I go like this and I want to make it just really tight, like this, it's going to tell me that the corner is tighter. But the section, it has to do probably this. Oops. This, right? And now you see that the corner is tight, right? There you go. And now the corner is tighter, right? But we wanted to make a more intersection, a more softer intersection. So we're gonna go back to business here. So okay. So now we're gonna do basically the same. Again, I enjoy doing this more in paper. I think if you guys practice in paper, it will be better. Personally, I think paper is good. So, but here, well, I'm trying to represent something. So, yeah, you got your core, the same way I explained the cylinders, right? And all these techniques goes the same for when you guys are doing renderings. It's the same logic, right? The difference is you're grabbing a Photoshop brush, soft brush, and you're putting paint. But lighting and all that, it boils down to the same thing. That's why I'm very like confident on teaching, on relying on sketching, because with the sketching you have a lot of understanding, man. And after you get these things, you can just render it with color because it's the same logic, right? So yeah, just like that. You see, it was a little bit of shading, but this is basically how you represent, how you're gonna blend these two, right? Goes like that, goes like that, right? And
Yes.
if you look from primitive shapes, it's a cylinder, right? A cylinder with a plane intersected, right? Could you just cut in there?
Yes.
Right?
It's like magic. I haven't looked at the like this before. Yes.
So yeah, that's how you blend shapes. That's what I'm saying. If you master the primitive shapes, you're gonna begin to intersect them, and if you understand how the light works in each, you're gonna cut them off, and you're gonna blend them nicely, and you're going to begin to understand the shapes, right? And this is exactly how designers and modelers do on the industry. When we're designing a car, we begin all the time with a simpler planes, simple shapes, very pure form statements. And then after that, we cut out the wheels, we cut out some volumes, we scoop some of the air intakes, we add some splitters and diffusers and windows and things like that. That's why I really, really recommend just start very simple. Get your form language statement, right? First, that's all I'm gonna say. Get your first form language statement, understand it, and later on, you add the automotive features by cutting out wheels, windows, lamps, everything you want to add on it. But start like that, simple. So.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. No worries. Cool. So, all right. Okay, so if you guys don't mind, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I'm probably gonna explain something about my sketches. You guys wanted to know something about that? But yeah, I'm gonna I mean, because there's a lot of things that we need to touch. We're not gonna finish all the topics just in one sit. But I wanted to do these meetings probably weekly, right? Because I think that it's getting a lot of traction. I mean, there's people joining, and I hope more people are gonna join. And I'm gonna figure it out, how to help as much as possible, right? Because right now we were talking just a few people, and I know I see a lot of sketches already in the chat, so I'm just gonna figure out how to maybe help a little bit each individual, or how can we approach this, right? But yeah, do you have any thoughts, any comments about the session? Anything you would like to see, or any ideas on how to get this going better? Anyone?
Maybe next time can we try to talk about reflections?
Reflections. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Reflections is literally the pieces that are you gonna left in blank. The same way we're doing with light catchers, and the same way we blend the two surfaces. That's going to be a reflection. It's gonna be a straight reflection, but it's a reflection. The thing is, when you blend more primitive shapes into it, you're gonna start getting like a different type of directions. But it's a blank direction in the surface, and that gives you the reflection. So, but I'll explain that. Mostly reflections, I think, is easier to explain with probably planes, flat planes, and spheres, right? And we need to look at the sphere and how it looks, and then we can make reflections out of it. So,
All right, thank you. Yeah.
so anyone else?
I really liked your session. I got here a little late,
Yeah.
but I really I
Okay.
learned a
Yeah.
lot and stuff.
Yeah.
One question for you is that could you share your brush that you use
Oh
on
yeah,
Photoshop with us?
the sketchy one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
really
weird.
cool.
So weird. You
Yeah.
don't have it in your because I think those are default brushes, you know?
For example, I have
Matu doesn't have it. I know.
a cracked version of Photoshop.
Oh,
So
well,
maybe that's why. I have
we have cracked people here.
2020
No, just kidding.
version.
I think it's either default or it's just popular among designer community because I got the preset from my professor back when I was in uni.
Interesting.
Can you share it, Aras, please?
Yeah.
On the group?
If I can find the
Yeah,
file.
I'm definitely gonna share the brush, Matu. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
where is it?
if you go
lost
to the
myself.
brushes,
Yeah, could you show us on the brushes? Because maybe I might have it. I don't
Wait,
know.
I'm getting nervous now. Where is it? Okay,
No, you're good.
brushes. I'm like, where am I looking at? Brush, yes, right? This is where I found it. Dried media brushes.
dry media brushes.
And then Kyle's drawing box. I think it's default.
That might be default, yeah, actually.
I mean, I haven't downloaded that. I
Mm.
mean, I have this since forever, you know?
And you've always used it, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, lately,
Wow.
yeah, I've been using it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because it's pretty cool. It's almost like a Prismacolor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's why I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. But to me, sketching on paper, laser print and Prismacolor is the top. That's all I need. Just give me a Prisma and laser print paper. Because laser print is soft. So you can get like a nice, I don't know if you guys know the difference. Maybe if you grab the two, just like a regular bond paper and the laser print, and you see like there's differences. And it's very nice texture.
Generally, professionals use Faber-Castell polychromos.
Yeah, they use all kinds of pencils. To be honest, I'm giving you my personal opinion, my style, the way I do things, right? So, but many people use all kinds of pencils and pens and things like that. Because at the end of the day, I don't think it's about what pencil you use. It's about what you know.
Yes.
So the pencil is gonna give you certain like comfort, and you're gonna feel comfortable with that, and you're gonna make certain type of style, but it boils down into what you know, to be honest, at the end of the day. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of guidelines how to do things, but later on you can just freestyle with those, you know? That's how it works. You got a couple set of skills and then you use it however you want. There's no rules. So yeah.
I think I know how to export it. If you want, I can explain it in Spanish so you can understand it better.
No, yeah, I can do it. I can download it later. Don't worry. I can do that. Yeah, after the session, with text. I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, no worries. So
Thanks.
Is there who brought up the idea of breaking down the
Hi.
sketches? Oh, what's
Hello.
up? Okay, how's it going?
Hello, Omar. It's
Yes.
Ganesh Patwardhan.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, today's session was really good. I just had one suggestion for, next videos. Maybe you
Yes.
can include a topic on industries, how industries work,
Yeah.
and,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
from college, like design school to,
Yeah.
getting into a OEM or any, design studio, wherever
Yes.
designer works.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So
We
we
can
can,
touch on that. Yep. Yeah. Can touch
yeah, so
on
yeah,
those topics.
thank
Yeah.
you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm open to I mean, you guys drive this session basically, Like if you guys tell me do this, do that, or let's talk about this, let's talk about that, like we can drive it together, basically,
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
So yeah. So if you don't have to have the answer now, but if next session or during the week you guys have some thoughts how to drive this session, just let me know.
Sure,
Thanks.
yeah. Thank
It
you
was
so
really
much.
nice. It was
Okay.
a very nice
All right.
class.
All right. So uh okay, so I'm gonna grab some of my sketches and maybe just tell you a little bit of how the form is breaked. So, and why things are the way they are. Do you guys have any sketch in specific, or I can just grab anything?
The Porsche you have sent it today is
Oh, the
really
latest.
good.
Okay,
Good.
okay.
Yes,
Okay,
the
okay.
latest Porsche.
The latest.
It's my opinion, but
Yeah. No, we can start with that. I mean, you brought it up.
yes,
We can start with that.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I think also the rare three-quarter sketch of the Mercedes SUV.
Oh,
It's Mercedes. Yeah, you posted it a while back.
Mercedes SUV. Let me see. I got some here. For Mercedes UB, you're talking about this guy, right?
Yes.
Okay. And man, what is that Porsche sketch? I just did it. Okay, it's here. All right. So, couple things about sketching and posting sketches out there, right? This is the raw sketch, right? And this guy is the Photoshop one, right? I just spent like, I don't know, 10 minutes max on this Photoshop because on the retouch, right? I'm not saying the whole thing, but because I wanted to just to pump it up, with the reflections and things like that, right? So one thing I'm gonna say is sometimes I kind of like modify the sketches a little bit, right? I grab them from here and I was like, you know what? Maybe it has to be a little bit more squeeze to make because maybe it was too tall. It looks kind of awkward, or it's just a personal taste, right? So, and that's what I did on this sketch. But this guy is the raw sketch, like from pencil. That's what I got, right? No Photoshop, nothing, just pencil, right? And if you guys gonna scan sketches and try to post it out there or put it in your portfolios, I would suggest you scan first and then you go image, autotone, right? If you click on this, gives you the pump automatically, right? The sketch doesn't look like fuzzy. Your sketch is gonna look already like, okay, little dark and it's almost like the autotone is gonna remove the kind of like the lighting noise from getting into the paper when it's scanned or something like that. I don't exactly know how it works, but autotone is gonna give you that little like pump and to make your sketch read a little bit better, right? And the second advice I'm gonna give you is filter, sharpen, sharpen more. When you do this, it gets your sketch a little bit crisper, right? I don't know if it's noticed here, but if I go back and forth, you see it's like that, crisper. You see, back and forth. I don't know if you see it, but it gets a little bit crisper, the sketch. So those are the two things I really recommend, right? And it makes the difference because if I import again my default sketch, you see it's like a way different, right? from here to here. It's way different quality, right? So just do those two things, right?
Sorry,
And
Omar.
yeah.
Does this apply just for hand drawing or for Photoshop as well?
No, I think for hand drawing, because this is to eliminate the how it looks when you scan. So it's just to
Okay.
get rid of that. Just to get rid of that. So yeah. All right.
Could you please tell me what are the steps? I will take it down.
Okay. The steps for what?
To get crispy skates.
Oh.
Like this. We need to first click image.
Oh yeah. Okay. So okay.
We,
Can do it again. Here, right? You see, you have the fuzzy sketch when you scan, right? Let me just copy paste so I don't deal with things. Okay, so here, and you have this is your raw scan. Doesn't look that good. Image, adjustments. Oops, no, sorry. Image, autotone. That's it. Image, autotone.
Okay. Image,
Boom.
autotone. Okay.
That's it. Magic. Filter, sharpen, sharper more. Boom, crispy. That's it. You can go crazy on these, sharpen more, but it's gonna distort your image. Look, if I keep doing it, filter, sharpen more, you see, it's distorting it at some point.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's getting too crisp that it's like, it's just gonna create a mess, right? So that's why you don't want to overdo it, right? But you do it, I usually just do it once and that's it. So anyways, so I'm gonna explain this really quickly and then we can wrap it up. But basically, these type of things, my sketches, things are working because things are very simple, right? If you think about it, this is literally my concept. These two guys, this, right? And this. And I have another sheet of metal doing this, right? And I have another one doing this. And then with another color, I have a hole doing this, right? So basically, this is all the shapes I'm using, right? What's going on here? Okay. Okay, there you go. This is all the shapes I'm using, right? It's two shapes like that. Looks like a semi-prisma with a section of a cylinder and a hole, punching a hole in it. Right? And then I have a bent sheet of metal, right? Just, oops. I have bent sheet of metal just doing this. That's it. So when you guys are doing concepts and sketches, if you want your sketches to look fresh, you need to be able to break down the forms into a simple, right? You need to stop sketching, if you do, right? You need to stop sketching with lines, kind of like eyeballing things. And you need to start sketching with geometries, right? You have a geometry like that, right? And then you put a wheel, right? Put a wheel. And then you know what? I'm gonna have another geometry like this. I'm gonna go like that, right? And then you know what? My geometry is gonna be a little bit taper like that, right? It's gonna be a body, side, light catcher, right? But you need to be sketching like geometries and then lines, right? So this way you are going to come up with more fresher concepts, right? You blew it up, that's why you do doodles, right? Because you get the big picture really fast and then you blow it up and it looks kind of like right already, right? And then you need to think about, I'm gonna have a lighting here, it's a bar, right? And then I got my section lines in here like that, right? And then maybe I have a graphic here. Just gonna do this, right? And then I'm gonna add my wheels. I'm gonna add my wheels like that. Gonna add my windows here. Window here. Right? But you see what I mean? Just by simple forms, geometries, right? And that's how and then on top of that, you can always stylize if you want. You can say, you know what, I'm gonna have a line like this, right? Then you can work on the tension of the lines, but you already have the architecture, right? So architecture first, and then you work on the tension, right? Then I don't know, you wanna make it, what should we make? Mercedes, because we touched that topic, right? You wanna make a Mercedes? Right. There you go, right? That's how you do things, right?
Yes. Someone's microphone is
Yeah,
open.
I know. So probably someone who speaks Spanish, because I understood that. Okay, so but yeah, guys, you see, just by doing a doodle, blew it up, and just start chopping, putting geometries, and then lines later. If you want to tune lines, make different gestures, things like that. But you see, just like that, and the way you're gonna become faster and better at this is by mastering geometrical figures, right? Because I start with a geometrical figure, right? And every single element in this car is a breakdown of a geometrical figure. This is a prisma, right? Oops. This is a prisma. This is a prisma with a section. Shit. Another color here. This is a prisma with a chamfer, right? With a fillet, right? And you have a big surface and you have another fillet, right? So that's how you see things, right? Primitive shapes, figures, and that's how you're gonna make fresh concepts, right? You need to, it's more topics to touch on, right? This is just this is just an overview. But if I were to start from the beginning again, this career, I would start understanding all primitive shapes and intersecting them and putting them together. So, all right. So I think, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Can somebody turn the mic off? So I'm gonna wrap it up. I think it was a good session. I'm gonna put this on I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. Or I have just one question. I think it would be better if we share this with everyone and anyone, even if they're not in this chat, have access to it. So you guys are comfortable if I share this later on YouTube?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
no
okay.
problem.
Okay. Because I
Yes,
think
no problem.
okay, sounds good. Because I think there
Yes, it's no problem.
we're all gonna have access. And if one time you guys, okay, can you? Who got the microphone on? Okay, that I'm gonna cut it in. That I'm gonna cut it in the video. Don't worry. So, yeah, of course, the video I'm gonna edit it, and probably I'm just gonna make it a little bit nicer. But I think the main idea is so everyone can have access. And if any chance you guys miss some of the sessions and you wanna revisit and you wanna say, you know what, I was busy this weekend, but the new session is on YouTube. You can just access to it, and you can just watch it every time. Easy.
Sir, as far as I know,
It will be a lot more easier.
You can mute that person.
Oh, I can mute it, right? I can mute it.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah, man. Okay, learning something. No, wait. No. Let me try. Don't take it personal, okay? Just gonna mute to try. Ah, I see. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna mute you, Bora. Nah, just kidding. Not yet. Thank you.
Okay.
Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Next time I'll do that. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. Yeah. Have a nice weekend, guys. For some of you, maybe it's Monday. I don't know. Depends on the time zone. But we'll see each other next Sunday, same time. And in the meantime, I'm gonna figure out what to do. Maybe I do Spanish sessions, or maybe I do some other time zones, because I know some people couldn't be able to join today. So I'm gonna figure that out. And if you guys have any ideas on how to carry this community better, just share those ideas in the chat. And don't forget to invite more people in so we can get stronger.
Hello,
All
sir.
right?
I had a question.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Ankit.
Am I audible? What's the name of your YouTube channel? I want to watch. What's the name of your YouTube channel?
The email?
YouTube channel.
Oh, YouTube channel. I think it's OCORPDESIGN. That's it. Same. I'll send it on the chat.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week then.
One more thing, like,
Yeah.
would it be possible to have like a theme for like next week?
Yeah.
So for those who have no idea what to do, we could have like a theme
Of course.
to
Yeah.
make a sketch on.
Yeah.
Like that would be interesting.
Yeah. You mean I don't know, if I have a topic and then
Yeah, topic, like a theme, kind of a design challenge.
Like a homework.
Yeah, not necessarily homework, just like a theme. But yeah, basically homework, I guess.
Yeah, but you guys want me
Like
to put something we
like
can
a
revise?
simple theme everyone can work on and see like what everyone comes up with.
Oh, I see. Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Like a design challenge, basically.
Yeah. So
and
okay.
carry it
What
to the
if
future.
what if you guys start with the simple body sites and light catchers and shaders for now?
Oh yes, that's
I mean,
that's good idea.
The ones who wanna do it, like not everyone has to do it, just everyone who wants to do that, okay, that wants to be engaged with that. But yeah, for sure, I think next class, or I can come up with ideas and I can just give you guys on the chat that design team.
As you said, it's the most important thing for primitive shapes. For the next week's topic could be the primitive shapes works, as you said.
Yeah.
And we can go step by step. Maybe the other week we can work on a different topic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So yeah, I think we're good. And
Yes.
let's
Thanks
meet
for
next
your
week.
effort.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to catch up with all the things, right? Because I need to kind of like organizing the sketches that you guys sent, and I need to kind of like organize ideas and how to drive this. So if I miss something, it's not personal. I'm trying to catch up with all the things that we see today, and we can do next week. So yeah, but let's just keep meeting and let's just keep helping each other out. And I think it's really good that you guys share your work on the chat and everyone can jump in and kind of like say their comments. And I think that's the whole purpose. So we have a space so we can share things and we can get stronger and we can figure things out together.
Okay. Thanks for your effort.
Yeah, no worries.
It's really helpful.
Okay, I'm glad it helps. All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I'll see you guys next week then. Same time. Stay in touch in the chat. All right.
Okay, take care.
Sounds good. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Mar.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.